Hey everybody, this is Ken here with Game With Your Brain. A couple of years ago I started getting into World of Tanks. I think I've had an account since just after beta, but I didn't know anyone that played. Then some of my friends started getting back into it and I tagged along. That's when I really developed an affinity for it. World of Tanks offers a simple yet engaging experience like no other game. It's bright, shiny, loud, and fun. It's easy to learn and you can get into it in less than an hour. I think even Wargaming.net was surprised with its success. They've also seen their fair share of naysayers, but ultimately the property keeps chugging along. Grinding in games is something you'll hear people endlessly lament, but we all enjoy a bit of grind. Otherwise, nothing is really any kind of achievement. Nothing is actually rewarding without a grind. I would argue that World of Tanks gets this aspect of gameplay just right. The amount of battles it takes to get to tier 10 is a lot, but when you finally get that first tier 10 tank, it's such a great feeling to break that thing out in battle. And it's a lasting feeling of achievement playing those max tier battles where your tank is finally properly balanced with the things around it. I mentioned balance. Balance is a big issue in World of Tanks, and for good reason. Many times you'll play a tier 8 battle that will include 50% tier 10 tanks. This is a nightmare scenario. At tier 8, everything is just hard for no reason. You can't penetrate other tank shells go right through yours, it sucks. But that's part of what makes it so amazing to get to tier 10. You're finally on par. The other tanks in your tier are balanced against each other. Some tanks have high pen, some tanks have high damage, but nothing is totally outside the range it should be at this tier. It's actually a winnable challenge. One of the other things World of Tanks gets just right is diegetic sound. I'm definitely a person that thinks that sound in games is dramatically underrated as to the importance to its overall experience. When I fire a large caliber shell, I feel it. It is such a beefy sound. And it's even better when that shell connects with the enemy armor. You can hear it go through. Not every experience with sound in this game is fun though, but they're all important. If you bounce a shell, you hear the plink sound. The sound tells you what's going on, and together with on-screen notifications, you always know exactly what's happening the instant it happens. But the sound helps it become instinctual to react to it. There is one area though, where the sound is definitely lacking, the engine sounds. The normal engine sound is bad enough, barely any rumble. But if you get shot in the engine, I hope you enjoy the sound of an aluminum can with a bee inside being shuffled around by a lawnmower. Seriously, this is one of the areas that developers could easily improve upon without too much detraction from other work. While all of this speaks to the average experience of playing World of Tanks, there is one area I haven't discussed yet that is perhaps the most engaging of all: lucky shots. There's almost no better feeling in the game than peeking around a corner and getting a shot into some guy's turret, only to have it violently explode into a fury of fireworks. Hitting someone's ammo rack is awesome. They explode instantly with fire shooting out of the top of the tank. It is easily one of the most gratifying experiences I've had in any game. There are other lucky shots too that reinforce the greatness of this experience. Hitting a light tank in the rear armor with a large caliber shell, landing an artillery shell on a light tank, zooming across the map, penning a Jagdpanzer E100 right through the face, all good times. Don't get me wrong though, sometimes you spectacularly fail, whether it be accidentally shooting your teammate, wasting premium ammo on the ground, or having your shells bounce off into space. It really sucks. You may have tried World of Tanks in the past, you may be one of those that's persistently salty in chat, but I'd encourage you to come back into the game with fresh eyes and re-experience just how great it can be. As long as you maintain some levity, there's always fun to be had. Whether you're in a 10-game losing streak, or you've had nothing but straight victories all evening, World of Tanks is a good time.